Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Clinch. Today, Keith Robert is having technical difficulties all over the place, so it is just me and Chicken Parm today. If Keith pops in, we'll be sure to say hi. Yep. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. We took the week off and spent some time with the family. I hope everyone was able to enjoy their holiday. All right, we got some pretty exciting stuff going on the website. We've had a logo for a couple weeks now, and it's finally on the website, so go check that out. We're pretty happy about that. We have new content that's going to be coming out. Keith just started a 25 best fights in UFC history countdown. We're through the first two. Go check out the MMAtakeover.com to see number 25 and number 24.
Both good picks on Keith's part, so I'm really looking forward to see what he comes up next for these 25 fights of December.
I agree. Like these are two very, very good fights. So you're like, wow, that's all the way down there at 25.
I gotta
say.
I know. I'm gonna be in suspense. So Keith always does a great job with these polls and these countdowns. So I'm excited to see what he comes up with next.
I agree. He's real good with building suspense too. Like he'll throw out, he'll throw a line out there, and you're not sure if it's a hint or if he's just saying things. So he's real good with that. So we'll keep you on your toes, and you'll get to watch some great fights or some great fights to look up. So definitely check that out. All right, we'll go ahead and we will break down the Whittaker versus Brunson card, UFC Fight Night in Melbourne, Australia. All right, and I'll start out with the Fight Pass prelims, and I'm going to butcher the names right away, guys.
I'll butcher them too.
Janelle Lausa wins by decision over Yao Hikui.
This was actually a pretty fun fight to watch. Lausa was just tagging Yao. I mean, Yao didn't even look like he wanted to be in there. Janelle had very nice hands. He was picking his shots. He was not trying to rush in and try to go for the knockout. He was just trying to pick his shots, and he knocked him down a couple times, and he was grabbing him up against the cage, and he was tagging him and tagging him. Lausa looked really good in this fight, and I'm actually really surprised that he actually did that to Yao. But he looked great, and that was a great fight to start off the Brunson Whittaker card.
And I said to you before off air, I missed a lot of these fights, unfortunately. I'm looking at the box score real quick on this one, and I'm seeing 1 for 6 on takedowns from Yao. Was he getting rocked and just desperation shooting, or
in the second round? That's when Janelle was really tagging him, and it was all desperation because in the second round he was 1 of 4 for takedowns. So
okay.
I feel like he was just maybe seeing if he can get him to the ground, but we also had really good defense, and he definitely made Yao pay for being in the octagon with him that night.
All right, we'll slide into the next fight. Marlon Vera winning by decision over Ning Guanyu.
Sure, why not? I actually didn't. I thought this was a split decision. They gave it unanimous to Vera, but I actually scored this a split for Vera. But in the second round, Ning really found his stride. I thought Ning definitely won the second round. He had a great defense in the second round. Vera was 0 for 2 for takedowns, but just for strikes alone, Ning was 27 for 47, and Vera was 6 of 14 for significant strikes. And then for total strikes, 70 to 15. So I don't know how they got a split decision. A unanimous decision, because I thought clearly that Ning won the second round, and we have a surprise guest. Keith, are you there? Can you hear us?
What the fuck?
What? Friendly show.
We're on air.
Can you hear
Keith,
me?
what are you doing?
Yeah, we're on air. This is live.
I'm sorry I'm late, but I don't give a All right, what are we on?
We're on Vera versus Ning. Even though we can't pronounce his name.
We just started.
What'd you say? We just started. Give us your opinion on Vera.
I was plugging your countdown. You're welcome.
Oh yeah, we're very proud of that.
All right. Let me get to Lawson, I'll get to that first fight real quick. I actually was really impressed. Really nice boxing. Some nice overhand right. I actually thought it was pretty impressive. So that's a nice talent to add to the 125 division. Very Ning. I wasn't really prepared. I mean, it was a really close fight. I thought he was doing pretty good. They're pretty quick, even though he's pretty inexperienced because they're trying to get into China. There's like 1 billion people there. But the problem is with the Chinese is they just don't have the base for wrestling there. And I was impressed by Ning's game. Good leg kicks. He just can't defend a takedown. And the difference in the fight, I had it 1-1 going into the third round, and Vera just dug deep. He had it in him, and dug deep. The one thing that bothers me is when you hear the story about the guys he's fighting to get $50,000 for his kid's surgery. It's like freaking $4 billion company. They can't write you a $50 check and get your kid's face fixed.
I guess not.
And a delay.
No, you're all right. You're all right.
All right. You're talking gibberish.
Is it not working? I'm using my wife's computer now. It's not working?
You're working. I hear you. I can hear you and see you. I agree with you. I had it as 1-1. I thought Ning won the second round clearly, but he still scored a unanimous decision for Vera.
All right, and Keith, I got some other exciting news, and I brought back the blocks. So keep them short and sweet.
That's it.
All right, we'll slide into Jason Knight versus Dan Hooker. Knight winning by decision.
I thought this was a great fight. This was the third fight I picked wrong on the card. I actually thought Dan Hooker would win and win pretty easily, but Jason Knight had other plans. Jason Knight did a perfect game plan for him. He was tagging him. He was tagging him all around the octagon. Dan Hooker had nothing for Jason Knight whatsoever. Jason Knight, 4 of 13 for takedowns, so obviously he kept trying to milk the well a little bit with the takedowns. But Dan Hooker just got great defense, and I thought Hooker would win, but Jason Knight was picking him apart on the feet, and because Dan Hooker's been in there with some big names. He's been in there with Yair Rodriguez, and he didn't get the win that night, and this night he did not get the win either.
Keith?
The problem with Hooker, he moved around too much. He was running away too much, and he wasn't settling down for wrestling. Think about oh shit! Did I lose you guys?
You're still there.
No, you're there.
Came up trying to sell me something or something. Yeah, think about Knight. I mean, I like this guy. This guy's like the hillbilly version of Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz, the Diaz brothers. He's like southern draw guy who like talks shit and points at you and taunts you while he fights. They were asking 15 fighters who I'm keep talking. I don't care about that. They were talking about Brunson, Whittaker, and they were asking who they predict to win, and fighters. And then they get to Jason Knight, and he's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, I don't give a damn about any of these fighters. I ain't friends with them. He's like, if you're in my division, I'm taking you out. So, but on the skill side, he mixes up strikes with takedowns pretty good back control. I mean, a really nice win. I'm hoping Jason Knight keeps winning.
The Dark Knight. All right, we'll go into the Fox Sports 1 prelims. The first fight on that was Bedwin versus Gene Herrera.
Bedwin is unbelievable. He looks so calm in there, but he is deadly inside that octagon. He could do anything in that octagon to Herrera, and Herrera could not stop one bit. The punches, he's such crisp, clean punches from Win. Herrera just had no game plan going in there. Quinn is that was probably the best fight to start the card for Fox Sports 1 to watch. I had a really fun time watching Bedwin, and I hope they match him up with a pretty decent name coming up here in the future, because he was really fun to watch, and he'll get in that. I don't know if he's in the rankings yet, but he'll be there soon. You can count on that.
Well, what a difference his last fight to this fight. His last fight, he fought Louis Smoker, and I scored the fight 30-25. He got absolutely train wrecked, and then he looked like a complete different. This was a pick'em fight, and I actually took Herrera in DraftKings because of how But Wynn looked fantastic. His footwork was phenomenal. His striking was really good. He mixed up angles and timing on his punches, and he looked like a completely different fighter. And I'm actually excited about him now. He had Herrera guessing the whole time, and he had no idea. And Wynn never looked better. I mean, that's definitely a guy make the top 10 rankings, but close. I mean, yeah, I can see him get an honorable mention ranking or something. He looked good. He looked real good.
All right, so after that, anything else you guys want to add on that one, or are we ready to move on?
We can move on.
What'd you think?
I told Dave and the audience a little earlier I missed a lot of these fights, unfortunately. That was one of the ones I missed, and it sounds like I need to find it and watch it.
We're gonna take down Ariel Helwani if our host is going on dates and stuff.
I'm the looks.
He's a sexy girl.
One day when they ask you where were you when Ben Wynn beat Gene Herrera, you won't have an answer.
No, but I'll give him a new nickname. Ben is gonna win. New nickname.
Well, right, Ben Wynn is he's an internet sensation. He fought a guy in a small organization that was all tatted up. It was like in his face. It was like pushing him during the weigh-ins. And
I saw
Ben
that.
Wynn wasn't really doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know this guy.
Not to get off topic, what were you doing during this time?
Spent time with my family. Thanksgiving time.
That's Thanksgiving. This was on Saturday, not on Thursday.
Thanksgiving time. I had a time after it.
Oh.
I had to work on Thanksgiving.
So pretty much just take.
Anyway, Jonathan Munier.
MMA is your family
decision
now.
Over Rich Walsh.
Munier. I mean, I know I'm butchering that name. This fight it made me so mad because Walsh can. This is another one I lost. Bedwin was the only correct pick I picked. But just Jonathan Munier, he just used his reach, just kept Walsh out of his range, and just kind of just did leg kicks, little baby chops, and just Walsh had nothing for him. He couldn't get close. He couldn't get him taken down. He got one takedown or two takedowns in the last round. He was 2 of 8, but Walsh just didn't have any game plan for Munier. Munier did. I think his game plan was just to keep him at bay, just jab, leg kick here, point his way to victory, and that's exactly what he did. This was not a great fight to watch. Walsh's corner kept telling him to run in, try to get close, try to make it dirty boxing against the cage with the clinch, but Munier just outpointed him and just used his reach perfectly to win this fight.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a pick'em fight in fantastic. He's a tri-star pro. I was most impressed is that he won all 3, the outside, the mid-range, and the inside. He won all 3. He batted him up on the outside. He kept doing these spinning kicks and spinning back fists, and he landed a lot of them. Middle range, got in that Munier looked the best. He would get the clinch and he started landing huge knees. His best work. And then if they got in close, he would drop in on a takedown. Impressive win. Just not that bad. He's scary looking.
Yeah.
Looks like Justin.
All right, then we'll move into Damian Brown winning by decision over John Tuck.
Another fight that I picked wrong. I had it going. Tuck definitely won the first round with the knockdown and with just the shot. Then Brown came alive in the second round, so I had it scored 1-1 going into that. And then the third round was very close. Each guy was getting shots. Brown tried for a takedown, but he was unsuccessful. I originally scored it the second and third round for Tuck, but then when I rewatched it, I actually gave it to Brown. So I gave the third round to Brown, which won him by the split decision. But that third round is, up in the air, but it was a pretty decent fight.
Yeah, Dave broke up a lot. I didn't really hear. Is that just my computer or?
That was just yours. He was pretty clear.
Yeah, my computer sucks, so I'll probably break it up right now. First, John Tuckman, he's a pretty fantastic fighter. When you watch him fight, he does everything good. He's crazy fast. He's got good hands. He's got good power. He moves around. He fights kind of like Yoel Romero, as in and when he's fighting in that burst, he looks like an absolute killer. In the burst enough, he absolutely was beating the doors off of him in the. And then the second and third round, he just gave the fight away. He did absolutely nothing. Brown, who's not even close to the level fighter he is, was just busier and won the fight. It was like reminded me, and Justin will get this reference of late in the season last year, where the Patriots were like handing off on like 3rd and 12 and then punting, and just like seemed disinterested. To John Tucker, he just seemed disinterested. I don't know. He's really aggravating because this talent is there,
All right, and we'll go from somebody who, maybe a little bit of a letdown. We'll go into Daniel Kelly picking up his second win in front of his home audience in a row. He last won over Antonio Carlos Jr. In March, the Hunt versus Mir card.
Dan Kelly looks like an old man fighting in that octagon. He looks like my mailman. He's so old. This was a terrible performance from Chris Camozzi. I know this is probably Chris's third stint or second stint in the UFC, and this is not going that well. But Dan Kelly, I mean, he was taking shots. His face after the fight, he wasn't looking pretty. But Camozzi, I feel like he didn't have an answer. I feel like the first round he was tagging him on the feet, and then Dan Kelly got the 2 takedowns. But after that, it's Camozzi just had no game plan. I don't know if he was just gassed or maybe he got hurt or something. But that's when Dan Kelly came on. Once Dan Kelly got a little blood in his eyes and the fire in the crowd, he took off. And, I mean, that was a good fight to watch Dan Kelly's perspective. But Chris Camozzi, this was a terrible performance. But I'm happy Dan Kelly got a win in his hometown.
Keith?
Again? Just me. I'm having.
I think it's
That's just you. Just you.
CEO's computer.
You guys hear me? Am I broken up?
A little broken up, but for the most part, we got
you. So this is the perfect transition from the last fight. John Tuck is this guy who has so much talent but he can't get anything out of it. He's a guy who doesn't have that much talent and he gets so much out of it. He is so fun to watch. He's got that like Dave said, he's got like this dad body and he looks so ugly when he's out there striking and he moves weird. But he's actually like pretty effective with it. And a lot. And he was landing against a pretty accomplished striker in Chris Camozzi. What I'm most impressed is how much damage he did. He just steps right through punches. Chris Camozzi was tagging him with stuff, and he just kept stepping through him. And it's in close. If you get in close, he's got really nice takedowns in close. I mean, he showed that. And on top, he's smothering. I mean, how have we not seen Tim Bosch yet? How's that not happened? The 2 dad bodies going at it.
That's a Fight Pass headline.
You got that right.
What am I seeing? Smiling Sam versus Dan Kelly. They're like the 2 nicest people in MMA going at it. It'd be like Dave's 2 kids. They'd be all fighting each other.
I don't have kids.
Yeah, it's like that's it. So hold on. You don't have kids? What's all those toys behind you?
Don't worry about what those toys are. That's for me to know and you to find out. Those are collectibles up there.
Is that a turtle behind you, or what is that? A snake? What is that?
That's a turtle right there.
It's like our show's mascot.
Yeah.
His name's Titan. Anyway, we'll go into the main card now. And the first card to kick it off is a little controversial. Danielle Taylor winning by decision over Sohee Ham.
I'm gonna take this one first. That fight, I thought Ham won. I thought she won 29-28. Best case scenario, you could go for Taylor 29-28. But I think there was 2 judges who scored the fight 30-27. Are you kidding me? There is no way Taylor won that first round. Ham was teeing off on her. It's so aggravating. Ham was busier. She was landing better shots. Taylor's she's a good athlete. She's just too tentative, and she's, you know what? She kind of reminds me of John Tuck. I mean, I know I keep bringing him up, but she fights in bursts, and it's aggravating. The whole eye poke thing, that was ridiculous. The referee, he doesn't speak English. Oh, you can't call timeout. She doesn't speak English. She can't communicate. I got poked in the eye. I thought she made it pretty obvious. She covered up her eye and backs away. And the worst thing was, it wasn't like it was in the middle of an exchange. They were kind of separated from each other. The referee definitely had a chance to give her the benefit of the doubt and jump in. And for her to sit there and catch, she probably caught 5 or 6 big shots from Taylor because of that. I thought the referee blew it. I thought the judge blew it. I think this fight was a shame. I thought Ham should have won. Made decisions. 14 out of 17 judges scored it for Ham. So awful.
Yeah, I agree with everything Pete said. That eye poke obviously came at a worse time, but it was funny because they kept saying, "Oh, you can't call timeout during the fights. You can't call timeouts." But it's like there was a time where, I mean, it's tough because you don't know if she got the poke or if she just got a shot. You don't know what's going through the mind. But the referee probably should have just did something. But then you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, I guess, in that way. But this was a terrible robbery. And hopefully Dana White gave Ham the win purse as well, just to show that he didn't agree with this decision.
All right, from there we will move into Tyson Pedro winning by submission over Khalil Roundtree. Guys, we were talking pretty much the whole show about people that haven't tapped into their potential. I think that may be the case. That may be something that we're going to see with Khalil Roundtree. What do you guys think?
Khalil Roundtree, I said this off the air, he's a scary-looking man. He's someone that I wouldn't want to be anywhere near. But
that was racist.
He's got a mustache. He looks friendly as hell.
He's a scary guy. He's got power. He landed a shot on Pedro. I'm surprised Pedro is still standing. But it's Roundtree. It was his performance against Sanchez for the Ultimate Fighter finale was embarrassing. That was one of the worst fights I've ever seen in my life. I'm surprised they actually gave him a contract after that fight. And this fight was no difference. If he doesn't kill you with that one big shot, he's done. He's the Bob Sapp of the future, fighting in the UFC currently.
Now, did you mean the fight against Stansbury or the fight against Sanchez?
Which
fight you've ever watched?
Sanchez was for the Ultimate finale, correct?
Sanchez was in the first round or second round, where he was all beside himself because he had to fight his friend.
I'm talking about, I think it was Sanchez that he fought during the finale that he lost for the. Yeah, it was against Sanchez when his mom was yelling at him and he was talking to his mom during the cage, like, "Mom, I got this." That's when you know it's bad, when your mom's yelling at you and you're not even fighting right. I'm sure Keith's got a great opinion on this fight.
All right, so let's go with Khalil Roundtree. he's actually been training with Anderson Silva for years. This is a guy that's actually been pretty hyped up for a while. You saw his first fight in the Ultimate Fighter. I think it was the one to get in the house, it was the one to get in the house. Then he soccer kicks him right in the ribs twice. It was like one of the most beautiful to see. He reminds me of like, I'm probably gonna. He reminds me of Surreal Diabate, one of these guys who's got really good striking and really good power, but no takedown defense. And it reminds me of just like a fighter from like 1994, where he's just so one-dimensional. A great athlete, but possibility like, dude, get in the wrestling room. Like, holy shit, dude. Dave was talking about his fight against his mom. His mom was yelling at him. He did not yell to his mom. Yeah, he did not say, Mom, I got this. He told his mom to shut up. I'll always remember that moment. He told his mom, shut up. At least he beat his mom that night. Dave also said he was surprised that Pedro survived. Tyson Pedro survived that punch. Because if you read this predictions this week, you would have saw that it was my upset special.
Oh, there you go.
No, Pedro. I've been hearing about him for a while. I've been reading about him. They're saying that this guy is one of the best, well-rounded guys out of Australia. I'll admit, I never saw him before. This is the first time I saw him fight. But he lived up to the hype. I mean, he took the big shot. He recovered. He got a takedown, and he flashed a really good ground game. Extremely weak. It is weaker than I could ever remember it. So, guy to that division, this guy's gonna get rushed fast. Like he's gonna be getting some big fights soon.
Well, they should baby him a little bit so they could build another star in Australia, because there's not really too many Australian guys left besides Whittaker and.
How is it?
Yeah. They should baby him and build him up.
You can't disrespect Dan Kelly. He's the best fighter in Australia.
Kind of represented. Other than Jake Matthews, I think Australia did pretty well the other night.
I agree. Right after Roundtree and Pedro, we moved into Alexander Volkanovski winning over Yusuke Kazuya. Second round knockout.
Thank you, Keith.
Volkanovski looked fantastic. Jason Power just wrote about him this week. He was the fight of the week. Man, he was crazy impressive. I mean, he was winning. He got taken down for a quick second, got back to his feet, and he won all the exchanges. He landed some pretty good shots. He got in close in the striking range. He was winning the striking range. He had some really nice takedowns, and his ground and pound was lethal. And this is a guy that's small for the weight class. Took the fight at short notice, went up to 155 to fight a 45-pounder, and he's talking about going all the way down to 135. I mean, this is exactly the kind of guy that they need coming out of Australia. Everyone's talking about different prospects in Australia. This is the guy that I'm like, I want to see this guy fight again. I heard a lot about him. He's won it's like insane. He's won like 14 championships in different organizations and multiple weight classes and all this stuff. This guy's. I mean, he's really impressive. And Kazuya, isn't the guy? He's the guy that fought and had a good fight with him and a pretty close one. So to get taken out with ease against, I mean that was impressive.
Yeah, the one lasting image in my mind watching this fight was just how vicious, as you said, the ground and pound was. He was taking a lot of shots on the ground, and Volkanovski was just teeing off on him. And I agree with you. I'm excited to see where he goes from here, which weight class he's going to bump around in. But the UFC's got a star in this guy.
And the next fight up was Omari Akhmedov winning over Kyle Noke by decision.
They recently retired. Go ahead, Keith.
I have always liked Akhmedov. I like his skills. This fight, he's got really good technical striking. He's got a really nice overhand right, and he's got really good takedowns. The problem with him has been he's got a really questionable chin and questionable cardio. Cardio you can fix. It's hard, but you can fix it. Chin, you really can't. Other than you can't get hit. If he can fix those problems, you could be looking at a top 10 guy. Noke, he definitely was a good ambassador for the sport, like a trailblazer. He was in the UFC fighting at the top level way before Australian MMA really took off. He's definitely one of the lead guys, other than Elvis Sinisak from New Zealand and all that. And Mark Hunt, first guys to bring it to a high level. So he was never a top 10, more of a top 15, top 20 guy. Probably the highlight of his career was against Patrick. But yeah, nice career. I hope he sticks around. I could see him doing some commentating because he's pretty well spoken. Kind of like a Dan Hardy. Dan Hardy does Europe. Him doing like Australia cards and stuff like that.
Let's get him on the clinch.
I mean, it might be some weird time difference, but we can make it happen.
Yeah, we do get some big stars on.
I'm gonna tweet him right now. Let's see if we can get him on right now. his connection probably better than mine.
Yeah. Well, I think someone wants to say something. Hold on. It's probably not going to work when I want it to, but
never does.
It's hopefully. Hold on. It's loading.
Buffering.
This is Mark the Hammer Coleman. You're listening to the Clinch.
There you go. And one more.
Hey guys, Myron Sam Alley, and you're watching the Clinch.
Two great guys, and thanks. Got to thank those two for doing those little promos for us, and maybe we'll get the recently retired Kyle Noke to do one as well. Great careers.
That's going to be your assignment.
Why not?
That's going to be your assignment, Dave.
Yeah, to get Kyle Noke. I'll ask Kyle Noke how he was beating my favorite fighter, Charlie Brenneman, but then losing to my other favorite fighter, Ed Herman. I'll ask him those two questions, then I'm done. Noke was just getting tagged. I didn't like seeing the punishment he was taking. He should have he should have been retired a couple years ago. He's 36. I didn't want to go out in his home country, but he was taking the shots, and can't keep taking shots when you're getting that old. It's just going to have a worse effect on you later on. So he should have called it a career a couple fights ago.
His knockout, the kick that he landed on Peter Savada is one of the best body kicks you'll see all time. So that is his career right there. He'll probably be in the highlight film forever.
That's what he should have ended his career right there, because that was in Australia. He should have, retired then. And look at that.
That was
193.
Okay.
That was in Australia. That was Rousey versus Holm.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, Rousey. It wasn't the most memorable kick that night.
Good time.
Excellent point. All right, we'll move on. We have Andrew Holbrook winning by a split decision over Jake Matthews. Should this have even been a split decision?
No. Holbrook clearly won. I didn't think it was a hard decision. Jake Matthews, what an aggravating guy. Who did he fight to? What's the guy's name? See his face. I can't think. The guy, huh? No, not Kevin Lee. The fight before that, he fought
Johnny Case.
Johnny Case is a good fighter, and I thought it was a pick'em. And I remember this. I accidentally picked Matthews in DraftKings, and I was all pissed off about it because I was like, "Oh my God, Case is gonna smash him. Matthews is overrated." And what happened was I read going against that, and it was Matthews by accident. And I remember I was like, wins, I finish the money. If he doesn't, I lose. And I remember being like, what the hell, man? Case is good. Matthews, that's a horrible matchup for him. He's going to get out-wrestled. He's purely a wrestler. And then he looked phenomenal. He dug deep. He did good. Then he had Kevin Lee. But Kevin Lee is up and down. Kevin Lee could be a future champion. Or he could be John Tuck and So I went to this one. I'm like, man, Jake Matthews is – holy shit, no, he's not. He's actually legit. Then he gets a fight where they him a fight. They give him Andrew Holbrook. It's supposed to be a good matchup. Excuse me. And he looked like shit. His striking looked improved. He was landing from the outside, but his IQ looks like shit. He was the only way that Holbrook was going to win was in close in the clinch or on the ground where he could scramble. And Matthews kept taking him down. And every time he took him down, I'm like, dude, you're winning the stand-up. You're losing the grappling. Why do you keep grappling? It was he ran out of energy like fairly early.
I mean, Holbrook. Yeah, I mean,
good.
That was I mean, Matthews got the second loudest or even the loudest cheer when he did the weigh-ins. So a lot of fans were behind him, but he just didn't show up that day. And Holbrook is nothing special. I thought he actually lost 2 fights ago. Holbrook, I thought he lost to Ramsey Nijum. I thought that. And then the last
jeez.
Against Silva, he got knocked out. So I mean, Holbrook is nothing special, but
a minute.
Yeah, in 34 seconds. So anybody could win any
against a guy that took the fight in short notice.
Yeah. So this was just a let's make Matthews look great in his home country, give him a nobody, and he disappointed Australia that night.
It's not the first time Jake Matthews let me down. Keith, his first fight in the UFC, you know who that was against? Yeah, Matthews.
You broke up. I can't hear.
Do you know who Jake Matthews' first fight in the UFC was against? Do you remember? It was last year, May.
Well, I'm assuming it's going to be my boy from Texas who knocked him out. Like my boy from Texas, Lloyd Irvin student.
The guy I don't like for no reason.
yeah, James Vick.
There you go. It's by submission. So
yeah.
He's
been out forever, James Vick.
What's that?
He's been out forever. Like, come on, dude, get healthy. James Vick is good. I remember taking that pick, and I remember a lot of people being high, and I was pretty high on James Vick. I'm still in. I like James Vick. I think he's good.
Well, James Vick is.
Remember you rubbed it in my face after I was wrong.
Keith will appreciate this one. UFC Fight Night 104, James Vick versus Johnny Case. 2 guys we were just talking about.
That's a tough matchup for both of them. Johnny, I like both of you guys are good. That's a good fight.
Case.
How much news I got to put on the website? I'm going to do like there had to be in the last 2 days like 15 fights announced. I'm going to put it all in one post.
All right, and it's main event time for the Fox Sports 1 card. Robert Whittaker winning by first-round knockout of Derek Brunson. And, guys, talk about an aggressive Derek Brunson coming out, just like literally charging the guy the entire first round. What were your thoughts on the fight?
I thought that Derek Brunson ran about 4 miles trying to chase Robert Whittaker down. He had his chin so far up. I mean, I'm surprised that it didn't end early. But this was a sloppy fight. Let's just get it out in the open.
Yes.
Nothing technical. Let's just keep swinging. I'm going to charge you, just throwing bombs. I mean, don't get me wrong. The fans loved it because that's what the fans love to see. And, I mean, this was the perfect way to cap off a night. But Brunson, I'm glad the Brunson hype train has ended. I'm surprised he was calling for a title fight. Even, when he beat Hall, he was calling for a title fight. And now he looked like garbage against Whittaker. But then again, it's Brunson's got that one thing. If he doesn't hit you with that one punch, he's going to try to hit you with that one punch, and then he's going to tire himself out chasing you down, trying to hit that one punch. But Whittaker looked great. I mean, I know each guy was rocked. They had their moments. But then Whittaker landed a nice kick, and he just followed up with some beautiful ground and pound. And, I mean, that place erupted. When the referee pulled Whittaker off Brunson, that place exploded. And I'm glad Whittaker got the win, and the Derek Brunson hype train has finally stopped.
So my question is, what does Derek Brunson ever did to Dave?
Who thinks he did?
That's the same question he asked me about James Vick.
He beat Dan Albie and he beat Ed Herman. That's why I don't like Derek Brunson. Be my two favorite fighters back to back.
The thing about Derek Brunson, the best part of his game has always been his wrestling. He's always been a fantastic wrestler. I mean, look, he out-wrestled Yoel Romero for, like, before he ended up getting caught. The worst thing that happened to him is he started knocking people out. He started developing strong hands. You hear all the talk of the talk up to this fight was Brunson talking about early. I want to knock him out early. Sometimes these guys that get this little bit of taste of a knockout, and then they start searching for it. His power. He's got some really good wrestling. I really think he should have exposed the wrestling advantage. When he landed and he had him hurt, he got so aggressive trying to knock him out. It felt like one of those like YouTube videos that you see where there's like a bully like hitting like a little skinny kid pulling away, and the bully keeps going after him and like chasing after him. And then eventually you're like, all right, this skinny kid's gonna finally throw a punch and knock this bully out. And you know it's gonna happen because why would it be on YouTube with like 3.5 million views? And then all of a sudden it happens, and it's like that's what I felt like. It was like, and I'm like, he's throwing so hard, he's knocking himself over. I'm like, man, he's gonna run into a fist, and it wasn't even like a Whittaker punch. It was like he ran into his fist, and then once up and Brunson just headbutted his fist, he never recovered, and then Whittaker set up that high kick. It was beautiful, but I actually disagree with Dave about how good Whittaker looked. I didn't think he looked good at all. He was hurt multiple times, and he was hurt by like a very sloppy guy. He obviously he moves up in rankings. I know we're going to talk about next who he should fight. I can't see him beating anybody in the top 5 right now. You know what's funny? The person that I give him the best chance of beating is Michael Bisping.
I agree. I agree.
But,
I was just going to bring up the entire logjam, in the division behind Bisping.
When Keith was talking about the bully scenario, it reminded me of when Pat Barry and Chet Congo fought. When he just kept trying to get him, and then at the end he just had one punch, and then Pat Barry was sleeping. That's because you saw Pat Barry was chasing. Yeah, that's what it just reminded me of.
But the thing about Whittaker, though, he's only 25. Everybody else in the division is, I think the other youngest guy in the top 10 is 31 or 32, and it might have been Brunson. But he's got youth on the side. He can. What's that?
Brunson's 34.
34.
Yeah, I think the youngest guy, believe it or not, this is going to sound strange. I think the youngest guy is Musasi. I feel like he's been fighting forever.
There you go.
I think he'd be 30, 31.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it's somebody in the 31 range.
Yeah,
so
Musasi's 31.
Okay. So, yeah, Whittaker, he's a young guy. He's got time to continue developing his skills. Maybe next time he gets bum rushed the way that he did against Brunson, he'll handle it a little bit better. But like you said, Keith, definitely some room for improvement there. I don't think it was particularly impressive, but it did, finish it off with a nice little combination, and he did what he had to do.
Are you thinking he's going to improve, and then most of these guys will be out of his way?
That's what I'm thinking. I think by the time he peaks, these other guys are going to be gone. So we're not really sure. We're not really sure who he's going to.
But how's he going to do?
Because they aren't here yet.
Do against Conor McGregor. Because he'll probably be fighting. He'll probably be fighting middleweight by then.
Yeah, that's a great point. He'll probably. I don't know. I'm not even gonna talk about this anyway. So,
do you think, honestly, all joking aside,
what's that?
I think Conor McGregor. All joking, not setting up a joke or anything. Not setting a Jeremy Stevens joke, but all joking aside, gun to your head. Do you think Conor McGregor knows who Robert Whittaker is?
Probably has no clue. No clue who it is.
If we ever get Conor McGregor on the clinch, that's the first question we're asking. We're not going to ask him about Khabib. We're not going to ask him about Tony Ferguson or Mayweather. We're going to ask him about Robert Whittaker. Why is he ducking him?
Then we'll get our excellent soundbite. All right, so we can.
Who do you guys want to see him fight next?
Whittaker. I don't know, man. It's so, like you said, it's just so tied up there.
He said he wants Musasi,
but
Musasi called out.
I think that's a bad.
Musasi called out Rock.
Yeah, maybe Anderson Silva. Maybe Whittaker versus Anderson Silva. Go against give him talent.
Yeah. If you look at obviously, I know you guys are looking at. No, I think that's a step back.
I mean, I think a step up is going to end badly for him. I mean,
so the way I look at it right now, there's 5 guys, and obviously I'm recapping my Monday article, but there's 5 guys who have a strong argument for a title fight. It's Yoel Romero, Luke Rockhold, Gegard Mousasi, and Robert Whittaker. Obviously, Romero's getting the title shot, so he's out. Luke Rockhold Luke Rockhold got called out by Gegard Mousasi, which is kind of cool that Gegard did that because he must have read my article because I posted who he should fight next, and then he goes on Ariel Helwani's show and calls out Luke Rockhold for a fight in, I want to say March. So to me, that really only leaves Jacare with as a matchup for Whittaker. It's a horrible matchup for him. I think Jacare is better than Jacare has heavy fists. He's actually pretty fast, even at his age. He's got really good takedowns. Most judges have really a big, strong, like double leg takedown game. And then his top game is elite of the elite. His top game is probably the only person that can match him is Damian Maia. So I think it's a horrible matchup, but it's a necessary matchup. Like you in that tough position where he's not as good as the top 5 guys, but he's better than everybody else, and he's winning. So those guys like that, titles that no one thought should get bigger shots.
I think you have a good point there. Jacare did come to mind, after the other fight was scrapped with the injury.
Yeah, of course that's a good point. All they do is do points.
Would you throw him in there against Tim Kennedy? I know it's a step backwards, but
yeah,
if they don't go forward,
not necessarily, because Tim Kennedy, he's got a win over Michael Bisping. He should have a win over Romero. He has a win over. Who he has a win over? Yeah, I can't. Give him my mind. Anyways, he's got 2 big wins. He's a pretty big name. He's fights Kelvin Gastelum. If he smokes Kelvin Gastelum, yeah, I think he throws himself right back in the mix. Obviously, he's a little older in age, so his time to get a title fight is closing too. So, yeah, I am mad at that fight.
I think depending on how the Gastelum fight goes. I think Kennedy's going to win, but depending how that goes, I think that may be the best move for Whittaker, at least. Maybe not everybody else involved, but for Whittaker, I think that's probably the safest. Well, not even the safest. What?
Did you see that Kelvin Gastelum's manager came out and said that his response for the Tim Kennedy, that he's fighting Tim Kennedy next weekend, and then he's moving back down to 170. That's what his management is saying.
Why? Unreal.
So yeah, this guy. Well, they should just cut him. They should cut him for just.
Yeah, no, they should. They should for that. That's.
Well, they don't want the backlash from the millions of Kelvin Gastelum fans out there.
Yeah, I know they're already bugged. All right, so we can move on. We'll go into the Ultimate Fighter finale, Ultimate Fighter 24.
Hold on a second. I'm making up for the time I missed earlier. Do you remember Kelvin Gastelum from the reality show when he had a big crush on Ronda Rousey, and he was like a little giddy to like talk to her and stuff?
No.
Oh. Yeah, like she came in as a guest guest coach for one of the seasons, and everyone knew Kelvin had a crush on her, and she called him out and did like throws on him and stuff, and he she touched me. And
that'd be me with Paige Van Zandt kicking my ass.
I don't know if you've seen pictures of Ronda lately. Weight class, Aaron Kelvin.
All right, so
dead air. Just killing the dead air.
Thank you. The Ultimate Fighter 24 finale. We have 2 fights that we have scheduled. Sorry. 2 fights we have scheduled to talk about, and I'm going to throw in a 3rd fight because Keith, we got to talk about my boy Brandon Moreno fighting Ryan Benoit.
Brandon Moreno. Chris Binoy. Benoit's first name.
Ryan
Benoit. Yeah, that's a good fight, and Moreno's good. He's in our top 10 rankings. I think he's like 9th or 10th. Obviously because of his destruction of Luis Smolka. I know our rankings are going to come out. I mean, our predictions are going to come out tomorrow. I'll throw it out there. I like Moreno in this fight. They're both pretty good strikers. Moreno's a pretty striker. He throws a lot. And he throws a lot of power. But he actually can mix in a takedown and a pretty good ground game. Mexican fighter, which it's uncommon to have a good ground game. And Binoy he's like kind of the opposite. He's a good striker, but he can be a little too tentative. Or that could be fun of the night. That could be a really good scrap. Yeah, I'm gonna take your boy. I'm taking your boy Brandon Moreno.
I like that fight because of their nicknames. You got the Assassin Baby versus Baby Face. I mean, come on, you got 2 babies fighting. That's how you sell the fight right there.
What was it? The assassin? What the baby assassin versus baby?
The Assassin Baby, which is Moreno, versus Baby Face Benoit.
Okay, first of all,
Battle of the Babies. That's what it's going to be called.
Okay, first of all, where's Edwin Deweese? Because he was the original babyface.
He's repping.
And is the baby Josh Barnett?
He's color commentating. All the babies are fighting that night. Even Melvin Gallara, the young assassin, is going to be in the corner of the assassin baby to cheer him on. The 2 assassins.
They should just get they should do like all the people with the nicknames assassin. They should do like a WWF style like battle royal, and whoever's remaining gets to keep like all the assassin nicknames. Get like David Terrell, the Soul Assassin, throw him in there, and all kinds. The Career Assassin.
It'd be great if you throw all those super cool nicknames in there, and the one that wins is the baby or the assassin baby, like the least scary nickname.
That's gonna be the worst. The worst nickname ever.
Yeah, he needs I don't know, Brandon the Monster Moreno, something. I don't know.
Our next show, we should do that. We should come up with a
Dominican Monster.
No, we should come up with like who's got the worst nickname in the history of MMA. We should all try to.
That'll be a good segment. We should let's get that on there next week.
I like that.
I'll search through, so we'll do that next week.
One of my favorites is always the Incredible Bulk.
One of my favorites is Soldier of God. Like if that doesn't make you shit yourself, is
the Barn Cat.
The Barn Cat. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, but we're talking about worst nickname. We're naming best nicknames.
I got
square ass backwards here.
But for the 2 main events for tomorrow's fight card, I mean, I know Keith's going to be talking a lot about these, but Tim Elliott, he won, but we all knew that because that leaked about a couple weeks ago. That leaked that he was going to fight Demetrius Johnson. Did you know about that, Keith? The leak that Elliott was already determined the winner.
Yeah, I didn't hear that leak. I heard the finals leak though. The Hero versus Tim Elliott. I heard that which kind of ruined the season for me.
Yeah.
Josh Gross in season 4 of The Ultimate Fighter announced that Matt Serra, he just kind of slipped and he said Matt Serra was going to fight George St. Pierre, and he got banned. The entire Sherdog got banned. I think they might still be banned UFC because of that. And Sherdog is one of the biggest websites there is. It's a good thing we didn't have a show last week and Dave dropped the news and we'd be banned already.
It is true. Now you're taking Elliott, correct?
We'll get to that. Are we gonna do the Cejudo fight first, or are we gonna do the main event? What do you guys want to do?
Let's do Henry Cejudo and Joseph Benavidez. My thoughts on it, pretty straightforward. I think Benavidez is going to point his way to a victory. Probably all 3 rounds, in my opinion. But I'll let you guys get into your I don't know, you wouldn't call them X's and O's in MMA, so I'll let you guys get into the nitty gritty.
There's only what's up? You want me to go, Keith? I'll go. There's Cejudo. I feel like is going to have a different game plan going into this fight, and I feel like it's just going to be wrestling. He's just going to try to take him down, wear him out, just gain points on the takedown, points on the little baby ground and pound, and then if Benavidez gets up, immediately he's going to take him down. I feel like that's the only game plan Cejudo has to win against Benavidez, because Benavidez has been in there with the best of the best, and he's come out almost victorious against, top tier people. But when he's in there with the big names, he can't get it done. But Cejudo ain't a big name. I mean, Cejudo's barely beat Jusimur Formega. That was a split. Cejudo has no business being in there with Benavidez, and we're going to see that on display tomorrow night, unless Cejudo just gets 14 takedowns and gets every single one and just holds him for 15 minutes.
I think you just named our episode, Dave. No business with Benavidez.
Oh, good.
No business. I'm surprised at everybody. I've been reading how everybody's taking Benavidez. Not that I'm surprised that he's the favorite. I think he should be the favorite. I think he obviously has more experience. I think he's got more tools in the. I'm just surprised that nobody's taken Cejudo. What's crazy about all this is that there was more people taking Henry Cejudo to Brunson than there is people currently picking Henry Cejudo to beat Joseph Benavidez. Benavidez' last fight was against Zach Mikowski, and he didn't look that good. He won, but he got taken down 4 times. And now he's going against an Olympic gold medalist. Dave, that the way that Henry Cejudo's going to have 2 ways to win. He's going to have to land a big right hand, which he throws a lot, knock him out, which other than Demetrius Johnson knockout, I don't think he ever got knocked out before or after. And the more likely is the wrestling game. If Henry Cejudo uses the guy who was the best in the world, and uses his wrestling. And he hasn't really used his wrestling in MMA, which is insane. You look at his last fight against Dave already said, Formiga. Formiga should have been an easy win for him. Cejudo's a more accomplished striker and obviously a more accomplished wrestler, and he struggled against him. And it was really close. It was one of those split decisions that it was a legit split decision. Could have went either way. I remember vaguely it was the night of a big boxing match. I was kind of watching that fight and like a boxing match at the same time with Jay Martin at I remember scoring the fight for Cejudo, but it was one of those ones where I was kind of watching it and kind of missing stuff. He's a lot more he's faster. He's a lot faster. He's smaller than Cejudo. Cejudo's huge for flyweight. I mean, you can see from the show he's huge, which has been an issue for him making weight. Benavidez is extremely fast. I know Justin would agree with me. I think he's so underrated. I think he's historically underrated. He's got so many. I mean, his first fight against Demetrius Johnson was an extremely close fight. It was a split decision, and that was probably the toughest fight Demetrius Johnson's had at the flyweight. Well, besides the E. McCall fight. But I agree with Dave. I can't see him winning. I think he's more diverse with the strikes. He mixes in kicks. He has some deceiving power, very fast. He actually has pretty decent offensive wrestling. One of the weaknesses is he gets taken down fairly easy, but I think he does that because he's so good at scrambling and back to his feet. He's like never been held down. Even Demetrius Johnson couldn't hold him down. He's so fast and so good at scrambling. And he throws combinations. If you look at Henry Cejudo's fights, his striking is more like popping the jab and throwing overhand right. Demetrius Johnson, he's always moving angles, switching stances, low kicking, different angle. He just seems more advanced. I give Cejudo a better shot than most people, but I think Benavidez wins. I'm going to take him by decision. What's up with the beef? Like I haven't really. I watched the entire season. I never got down to why they hate each other.
I think Benavidez just was mad that Cejudo was just like the weight issue. Something with that, maybe. He kept saying, like, oh, you make weight first, or something.
Yeah. Benavidez, like, looks at him as a fake role model. Like a fake-ass role model. Doesn't believe he's really this great person, this great persona guy that he is. I don't know.
It's just so weird. It just seems like to me, like in the UFC, you probably went up to these guys and be like, listen, everyone knows this season's a bullshit season. We're trying to get people to watch it. Everyone knows that the winner of the show. We need something exciting. Maybe you guys can make it exciting because it seems like the fakest like beef I've seen yet. And Henry Cejudo saying to just been like, be a role model. You're not a role model, and all this. Like, have you heard anything bad about Joseph Benavidez ever? Like, like bad person or like bad, anything like that. Like,
yeah, you're right. It does seem like it has a level of fabrication to it. So I see where you're coming from. They could be trying to get views. It's nowhere near the level of Joanna and Claudia trying to talk shit to each other and barely speak English. That was great. I'm going to punch you to the face.
And they actually fought each other in different things. And
yeah. All right, so we'll hop into this main event now. Your winner, Tim Elliott fighting Demetrius Johnson. Is anyone predicting an upset?
I'll let you go first, Justin. I know you want to do it.
Long story short, no. Demetrius Johnson wins. We talked a little about it off air, Dave and I, and I'll let him throw his prediction out there. But I agree with it. It's either going to end really early or Johnson's going to dance around a lot. When I saw Tim Elliott was on the show, I didn't really want him to win. Not because I have anything against Tim Elliott, just because he's been in the UFC before, and I've never seen star potential in him. And now he's in there against the pound-for-pound best fighter in the UFC, maybe in the world. So I'm not even particularly looking forward to it. It's always a treat to watch Johnson fight, especially when it's free. But I have low expectations.
Hey, Keith, who was Lewis? I just ruined it. Who was Tim Elliott's last?
Lewis Cadman.
Yeah, I just ruined it.
What?
I ruined it. His name. I was looking at it. He lost 3 in a row. Tim Elliott.
Yeah, hold on. Who was his 3 in a row? They were good. It was Benavidez,
Bogdanovich.
That's 3 good people to lose to, though.
And Malovsky. And then he lost to Dodson earlier on in his first UFC fight.
Yeah. So, those 4 losses in the UFC are all top 10 guys. Like, they're all good dudes.
And then his first fight out of the UFC, he won the Titan FC Flyweight Championship. So they just gave him a title shot after losing 3 in a row. That's why he has the title. But, Tim Elliott, he's beat Jens Pulver years ago. He's got no chance against the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. I picked that it's going to be a unanimous decision. I feel like this is going to go the full 25. That's what I feel like. I feel like, this is going to be a 25-minute war, but it's not going to be exciting whatsoever. It's just going to be Tim Elliott getting picked apart by Demetrius Johnson. But unanimous decision, full 25 minutes.
All right, so let's talk about Tim Elliott. I actually think he's a lot better than I think he's a better fighter than he gets credit for. I think his UFC record definitely doesn't display it. It was actually something I was going to bring up, so it kind of stinks that Dave kind of stole it from me. The four guys he lost in UFC are all studs, really good dudes. Tim Elliott has this like really weird style where he like leans a weird way and like moves kind of slow, but he's always pressing forward. And what I'm most impressed by him is that he just eats punches. He just walks right through them. He's constantly, if you watch all his fights on the show, he was just constantly going forward. You go back to his John Dodson fight, he just constantly going forward, eating shots, taking it. So that's obviously a benefit. One thing, he's humongous. He's like 5'7" for 125 or 5'8". He's humongous for the weight class. He's kind of has that Daniel Kelly style of striking where he looks so ugly, but he kind of lands a lot. Offensive wrestling is really good. Like he's a good wrestler. And he kind of disguises his takedown pretty good because he'll throw these like weird looping punches and kind of distract him. Then he kind of sneaks in the takedown. The negative on him is he's very hittable. He gets hit a lot because he's willing to take a shot to get in. And another negative on him is for a guy who's such a good offensive wrestler, he got taken down a lot on the show by guys who aren't even nearly as credentialed as him. Again, the top position, I don't know if you guys noticed this from the show, is front and like going for like a front headlock, and he'd be in a good position and he'd keep coming out in front. It was really weird. Demetrius Johnson, I mean, what can you say? The guy's the best fighter in the world. The guy's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He's a top 10 all time. He really, if people talk about underrated, this is the guy who gets underrated because you never hear him and like, is he the greatest ever? Because it's a division that people don't really care about. But technically, on a technical sense, the guy is perfect. Like I always try to my thing I always do, and I know you guys know this, is I always try to find like a strength and then try to find a weakness. And I can't find a weakness in Demetrius. He does nothing bad. His striking is unbelievable. He uses angles. He mixes up rhythm. I mean, I know you've heard me talk about this before. I don't want to keep going on of all the things he does. He's got power. He's got speed. He changes angles. He changes rhythm. He changes timing. He throws different angles. He's so good. He's good at all three distances. Way he disguises his takedowns. He shoots in. He's so quick on his double that he's slamming the guy before the guy even realizes he shot in on him. He takes the back like with ease. He's great scrambles. His cardio is insane. He's so fun to watch. It's so funny because a lot of people don't find him fun. He's a guy who pressures a lot, which is insane. Most guys who pressure get hit a lot. And Demetrius Johnson, it's like you hit him, that's like. So I mean the skills. I mean he's unbelievable. So all that said, thinking about the Matt Serra. It was, I don't know what year it was, 2004, maybe 2006, something like that. Matt Serra won the fourth season Ultimate Fighter, pretty much the same thing as this. And he got a title shot against George St. Pierre, and no one gave him a shot, and landed a shot, and knocked out George St. Pierre. So I think in December 3rd, it's officially Christmas season. Let's do it. Let's do a Christmas miracle. I feel like it's like if anything can happen, this is the time now. I'm taking Tim Elliott in a first-round knockout.
Wow.
If you don't agree with me, then you don't believe in the true meaning of Christmas.
Is this is that what you're telling me?
Jesus show or the anti-Santa Claus show. I'll take it. I think Demetrius is gonna round. Second round is gonna probably get a takedown. I think he's going to take his back. I think he's going to choke him. I'm taking second round submission.
The real prediction.
Real prediction. But either way, if Tim Elliott pulls off the miracle first round knockout, someone's going to have to cut that, and then we can use that for our website forever as we're geniuses.
Yep.
What we should do? We should cut up videos. We should cut up videos of us making predictions. And get one of us, and we'll just cut up and seeing every possibility way of winning, and then we cut it, and then every week It's unbelievable.
You're live. You're live right now. In case you forgot. All right. So anyway, what?
Is there any other fight you're really excited about on this card?
Yeah, Brandon Moreno.
Any you're excited? Really excited?
Brandon Moreno.
Rob Font, local guy, Rob Font fighting. I'd like to see him fight. So
and Kalen Curran.
Fighting the guy that lost to Tim Elliott in the quarterfinals.
Matt Schnell is going to get destroyed by Rob Font.
The cocky guy.
That's my soundbite to be edited later.
All right, so a little unrelated note. That's pretty much all we got. I want to throw one more topic out there before we get into what's coming with the website and everything. Did you guys see the story that in all three of his Bellator fights, Benson Henderson has had a torn ACL? You guys seen that story today?
Yeah, we only talk UFC here.
Yeah.
I thought this was the MMA takeover.
No, it's not. That's the. I did read that. He makes me feel like I'm a worthless piece of crap that he can do all that stuff with a torn ACL, and I get tired mowing the lawn. It's like, come on, look at all this.
Yeah, rake pine needles. Oh man, that's the worst.
Yeah. He's fighting the best fighter in the world.
After Chandler suplexed him, I was like, yeah, my neck would have broke.
Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler's one of my all-time favorite. I love that.
Get him on the show, and then he can do a promo like this.
This is Mark the Hammer Coleman. You listen to the Clinch.
Oh, get him on.
I was wondering if you cut that. I knew you were going to cut that up before this show.
How'd you know?
I just know it.
They're great though. That's flavor.
All right, so Keith, before we call it a night, let's give everybody an idea of what to expect with the MMA takeover, with the website, and what's on the horizon.
Every single week, it seems like there's always something. And like the first week, we had UFC 205. That was a huge week for us. The second week, we had the 12 hours straight of MMA, which was man, that was crazy. Like getting huge names and going 12 hours straight of MMA talk. 12 hours. Like it kind of went out pretty fast. It was fun. And we raised money for a good cause and for the website and so now we're in December. We're doing a big things. Watch out for our website. It really got a different look over the last couple of days. It was a lot more professional. We're getting better. A lot of doors that keep getting opening. Some things always check out. There's so many things I feel like we're getting tomorrow. We're gonna have our the fights. Monday I'll have my who's next picks, which is saying who guys should match up with. We'll have Tuesday we'll have a new poll up. Wednesday we'll have a fight of the week, depending on like what accomplished something that stood out this week. Thursday we always have our trivia up. Everyone, it seems like the trivia is going really well. People really like the trivia question. Jay Martin's lying because he seems to nail it every single week. I gotta do it live. I'm gonna get Jay Martin on and do a live trivia question with him. Friday, hopefully we'll have another great debate up. We didn't get a great debate this week, just because we couldn't find anybody to take Cejudo.
Nobody wanted Cejudo.
There's actually a couple other things I don't want to announce yet because we're still working on plans. But we have a couple more segments coming out. Pretty fun, exciting. Chris is going to come out with a segment that I think is going to be extremely popular. I think it's going to cause a lot of debate. It's a really, really fun. Doing a really, I don't want to give away what he's doing, but if it goes through, Kurt's going to have something really cool. And another big thing that's going on right now is we're doing a countdown. We're doing the 25 greatest fights in UFC history. We're doing it kind of like a 25 days of Christmas kind of thing, like a advent calendar where I'm counting down. We started December 1st. Because I don't want it to make it sound like this is our group's picks. Actually, really, it's my picks, so it's my countdown. I'm doing a lot of work. It takes a long time to write them. Fortunately, I can't post the fights because of copyright, and I'm not really sure how that works. So I'd rather have the people find the fights themselves. But yeah, we're the number 25 was between Jim Miller and Joe Lozano, the first fight, and the second, and 24 was what was number 24 today? I just did it.
Roger Huerta.
Roger Huerta and Clay Guida. And I'll give you guys a hint. Clay Guida's gonna be on the list a lot. he's gonna be on the list a lot. I'm sure you guys can figure out some other guys that have been on the list a lot. Probably, I think Robert Lawler might make that list a couple times. Diego Sanchez might make that list a couple times. If you guys, I don't know what number 23 is. I kind of have them in sections where I kind of have an idea and I kind of glaze over it. And what I think 23 is going to be, without you guys guessing, we'll just say 2 absolute legends of MMA that would probably be in everyone's top 10 to 12 all-time fighter range. 2 guys fought it out, only a 3-round fight, great battle. I think that's going to come in at 23, but I'll let you guys can guess it off air.
This is Mark the Hammer Coleman.
It is. It's Mark Coleman and his fight with Shogun. Stephen Butler.
One last thing to throw in there, Keith. You left it out of the schedule. I lost to Keith in fantasy again, so he's like 10-2 or something. I feel like I don't have to tell you guys anymore, but since I forgot the 1 week, I want to redeem myself and put it out there. I took another loss.
I don't know if you know how the fantasy football works, to be honest.
I had 3 players left down by 20 points. I still lost. So never pick an eagle. I should know better. All right, with that, no business with Benavidez, no business running the show any longer. We are signing out, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. Take care.
Peace out.